Hi, my name is Kara, and today I'm doing a presentation on wikis. In this presentation, I'd like to go over, first of all, what is a wiki? How do you set it up? What are the important features to know about a wiki? And then finally, I'd like to look at some different ways that you can use wikis in the classroom. All right, so to begin, I have a video, and this video describes wikis in plain English. So what I'd like you to do is navigate to this link. You can pause this video now, go there, watch the video, and then come back and rejoin me. All right, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the video. To summarize what a wiki is, basically it's a collaborative web page. So anyone who has access to the wiki, they can create pages, they can edit, and they can add and delete content. A wiki can be set up in two ways. It can either be public or private. A public wiki would be something like Wikipedia. Anyone in the world can go and edit Wikipedia. A private wiki would be something you probably want to use for your classroom. This means only users who have been invited to the wiki can join and edit and add to the wiki. You can set up a private wiki so that anyone can view it, but they just can't edit it. One of the features that I really like about wikis is that it keeps a running log of every edit. It tells you who did it, at what time, and what they changed. So as a teacher, this is really helpful. You can see how students are contributing to the wiki, how often they're on the wiki adding changes, and are they adding quality content on the wiki. Okay, wiki history. Do you know what wiki means? Wiki actually stands for fast or quick in Hawaiian. The very first wiki was called Web, and I was really surprised when I was doing my research to find out that this was created in 1994. So wikis have been around for a long time, and the first idea of when they were created was a quick and easy thing. You could get on, edit something, add content, and it would be on the web really quickly. There are many tools that you can use to create a wiki. I would encourage you to try out Wikispaces, but you could also consider using PBWorks, Wikidot, and Google Sites. If you're a Google Apps school, you might want to look into using Google Sites as your wiki. All right, so to get started, you're going to pick one of those websites that I just listed, go there, and create your free account. Many of those also have paid accounts, so you can check out their pricing options and make a decision if you'd want to pay for them to get more features. But I feel like the free options have a lot that you can do, so that's definitely a good place to start. Once you create your account, you can then create a wiki. You can have more than one wiki, so maybe for different classes or different projects, or maybe you have one that you want to do personally and then one for school. It's up to you. You want to create a title that is going to describe the wiki. So if I'm doing it for my 6th grade math class, I might do something like 6th grade math 2015-2016. You also might name it for a project or something specific that you're doing in your class. That would work too. Once you have the wiki, you want to invite your students to be able to edit the wiki. And then once they receive the invitation and they create their account, that's when the magic starts. The students can go on and create pages, add content such as text, images, and links. All right, so let's look at an actual example. If you go to wikispaces.com/content/classroom, this is what you'll see. So it prompts you to go ahead and create your free account. Notice you're going to create a username, type in your email, and then create your password. When your students are going to log in, they would click on the Students tab and do the same thing. I'm going to navigate over here. I've already created my account, so I'm going to go to my wikis. All right, so here's what it looks like. This is the dashboard when I log in. You'll notice right now I only have one wiki, and you can see recently there's been some edits that have been done. So let's go ahead and open this one. So I created this for my 6th grade math class. Along the top, I have some different options, and those will stay on every page no matter where I go. So let's take a look. Here are the pages that I've created so far. So I was thinking it might be helpful to have like a homework assignments page. So either I could post the homework, or students could go in and post the homework for each day. If they want to edit, they would come up here and click at the edit. And then I'm going to have the different options here. So maybe one student came in and put the homework, but they didn't put the date. So let's add in today's April 14th. So we need to know what day the homework's for. Okay, and I can add some different things here, like a normal text editor. I could also include a link or a file. So maybe there's an actual worksheet assignment that I want to add there. All right, I'm going to save that work. And then below that, I have a discussion. So there's kind of two things that are happening on the wiki. One is the actual wiki content, and then one is the discussion. So the students are going to be editing the content, but if they need to discuss things that are happening, they can do that down here under the discussion area. So maybe there's a question about what someone put in the content, that can be written here, and then a comment can be added below that. All right. Let's see. Also up here I have start a discussion. So maybe there's a specific discussion that I want to happen about a project or an assignment. I can do this here. This is separate. It's not linked to a specific page, but just a general discussion. All right, one other thing that I wanted to show you guys in the settings. So when I first set this up, it was actually private, so no one could view it. But if you go under permissions, I didn't have all these options here, so I had to verify my account first. So what I did was I put my phone number in, and then I got an automated call from Wikispaces that gave me a PIN. And I typed that PIN number in, and once I did that, now I had the different options here to change for my wiki. So what I've done is I've chosen the protected view. So what this means is anyone in the world can view my wiki, but only members of the wiki, people that I invite, can edit the page. So I think this would probably be a good setup for a classroom wiki if that's what you're thinking about doing. Let's navigate over here. So this is a view of the edits. So I can see all of the recent changes, the ones that have happened today, yesterday, and then before that. Notice they're all by me, but eventually once I invite my students, you'll see my students' names here, and you'll see the exact time. So I can get a really good overview of who's adding content and what's happening on the wiki. All right, going back over to the presentation. One of the reasons that I really liked Wikispaces is that they have a tour set up for you. So if you want to check that out, you can. It's a bunch of instructional videos showing you all the different things that you would need to know about getting started with Wikispaces. Also, I've included two examples. The wiki that I set up is pretty small right now. So I wanted to show you some examples of classrooms that are actually using Wikispaces. So this first one is called Flat Connections, and it's done by Vicki Davis. She's the cool cat teacher. You might know her on Twitter or through her blog. And this is a wiki that's being edited right now. Many of the wikis that I found have been edited maybe back 2010 or earlier, but this is a current wiki. So you'll notice they have their home page. They have some general options here, and then these are all of the pages they've created. They're still working on it, so I think eventually they'll have more navigation set up with sub-pages. But what I can do, I'm just viewing this, I'm not an editor. I'm able to go and see the changes. So I can see what's happening on their wiki. All right, and then over here, these are the actual pages. So let's take a look. I'm gonna click on this one. So this is actually a page that's set up to help you as a teacher create a wiki. So it explains how you can add students, and it goes through those steps here. You'll notice they've got text, they've added some links here, and at the very end there is a document. So this document can be downloaded. And then as I mentioned before, this is the discussion area. So if I had a question or a comment, I could add that there in the discussion. All right. Moving along, wikis in the classroom. There's so many ways that you can use a wiki. One, of course, would be a classroom website. Just sharing general announcements and information about your class. This could be edited by you, or it could also be edited by your students. You might want to consider using a collaborative notes space. So students would go and edit and add in their notes from class, and as a group or as the whole class, they would create a set of notes. Even beyond that, there is the idea of a student-generated textbook. So instead of actually using the textbook, or maybe you have a lot of content that you create, the students would create a space that had basically the information for your class. Videos, text, documents with all of the content for your class. I could see this really being used in secondary, high school, and even in a university classroom. A few more ideas: you could have a mini research project. Students would use the wiki to share what they've learned. This would definitely be great if you're doing a collaborative research project. You could use it as just a discussion board to post questions. Students can go and discuss their answers or their thoughts on the questions that you post. You could also use it to share student work. So each student would have their own page. They could go and post a poem or a project they did. And then in the discussion area at the bottom, students, parents, you as the teacher could add feedback about their project. You could have a fan club. So I saw this idea, this was for a social studies classroom, and each student chose a historical figure and created a fan page about that figure. You could use it as a classroom debate. So in the discussion boards, the students could debate various topics relating to the content in your class. And I really liked this idea as well. So the teacher goes and adds content, but as the role reversal, what happens is the students have to go and edit the content. So maybe the teacher adds in some grammatical or spelling errors, and the students go back and edit and make those the way they should be. All right, a few classroom management tips real quick. Set clear expectations for your students. You might want to even consider having a rubric. What's okay for them to do and not okay to do on the wiki, and what do you want them to do? Like, what is the expected outcome? What would be your goal for the wiki? Start small. Provide lots of practice time. Allow the students to get used to the idea of editing a wiki. It's a little different than what they might have experienced in the past. So don't take on a big project, but just start with something really small. As you're getting this project started, you want to start with content creation. So the students are going to come to the wiki. It's going to be a blank page. They're going to need to add content to the page, maybe 3 to 4 days to add content. And then you move into the content editing and refinement. So going back and reorganizing information, adding in sources maybe that were left out, refining it and making it really a nice product that the class can be proud of. All right, also don't forget to encourage the students to use the discussion tab to discuss as they're creating content. All right, a few quick benefits of a wiki. One, the students are actively learning when they're using a wiki. They're not just passively receiving information, but they're contributing and creating on the wiki. Students can access the wiki anytime, anywhere, as long as they have internet. And then the students are practicing these really important skills. They're communicating, they're collaborating, and they're analyzing and evaluating the information for your course. These are the kind of things that we want students to do, these higher order thinking skills. All right, well, thank you for watching. I hope this has been a helpful presentation, letting you know what a wiki is, giving you an example of a wiki through Wikispaces, and then talking about various ways that you can use wikis in the classroom. I'd love for you to share your thoughts, so if you'll comment below, add some ideas that you have, maybe if there are things that I left out or missed, I'd love to have your feedback in the comments. Also, I'd like to cite my references. Here's where I found the information, and then here are my resources. Thank you for watching.